Hello everyone, my name's Lakna. Welcome to my channel. I want to talk about the full moon that we're leading into on September 29th or 30th, depending on where you live. In Vedic astrology, this full moon is happening in the sign of Pisces, in the nakshatra called Uttara Bhadrapada. And to explain the energies of this star and just some of the insights that have been coming through for me, I think it's important to explain the pair of the stars, because there's the Purva and the Uttara Bhadrapada stars, which they form a pair. Purva Bhadrapada is the starting of Pisces, and it is known to be the front two legs of a funeral cot or a sacrificial altar. That is the symbol. This star that we're having the full moon, Uttara Bhadrapada, is symbolized as the back two legs of the funeral cot. So together they form the funeral bed or a sacrificial altar, which symbolizes, death, the afterlife, the spiritual world. In Purva Bhadrapada, the previous star, one of these legs are actually focused on the material, tangible, practical world, the success, the money, the fame. And then one of the legs is focused on the divine and the spiritual, subconscious, ethereal realms. Then we tap into Uttara Bhadrapada, which this full moon will be illuminating its light on, which is completely immersed within the spiritual realms. So this is the energy that this full moon is going to be illuminating. And I had this sort of vision because with Uttara Bhadrapada, the symbol or the deity is called Ahirbudnya, which is the serpent of the deep sea. And I believe this deity is residing within the deepest, darkest depths of the ocean, which mankind has not explored yet. There's so many layers to the ocean that have not yet been explored, and that's where ancient and unknown mystical wisdom is. And that is the gift of this star, is to just have this unknown level of divine knowledge and wisdom. And the full moon is going to be illuminating its light. Imagine the full moon is just like shining over the deep, dark depths of the ocean and really illuminating down to these dark layers that we've never really explored. And now we're going to be having the opportunity to really delve deeper than we ever have. And something I've been doing recently is like clearing out my stuff, my material stuff, like my clothes and I swear I speak about this in every full moon video, but it's so crazy how clearing out actual material things from your life gives room for new to come through. And imagine that you have dived deep into this ocean and you're going to meet Ahirbudnya and he's going to help you. But if you're holding on to like so many bags of things and you're taking them with you, things that you've been hoarding or holding on to, you're going to be too heavy. You're going to like fall deep, but you won't be able to rise back up and head back to land. Because that funeral bed, to make it whole, you need to also be a part of the material world. And the material world is a manifestation of the spiritual. It's not separate. And this is something huge that these two stars teach. And that is something, a part of my learnings in this lifetime, is that the material and the spiritual coexist. They're not separate and they're both important. Money is also important. You can't fully dedicate your life to money. You can't fully dedicate your life to spirituality either. You need to find a middle ground. And like the the ruler of this star, of Uttara Bhadrapada, is Saturn. And Saturn is all about discipline, hard work, dedication. Saturn is overcoming obstacles with humility and really just enduring through the hardships that come up and staying strong and still giving back and being of service to others, and appreciating the material, practical side of life, the realistic things. They're also just as important. So Saturn is teaching us some things here with this star, because this star is so deep and so psychic and so intuitive and empathetic and so within the world of the subconscious. Imagine if the deity is Ahibudnya, which is deep within the sea, and the sea and the oceans represent our emotions and our subconscious. So constantly this star is within those realms of the subconscious and the spiritual world. The ruler though is Saturn, which is giving this need to be realistic and practical and come back to life. This deity needs to come up for air. It can't reside completely within the ocean. So we also can't live in the ocean. If you have like a lot of Pisces in your chart, like you can't just always live in the ocean. You can't be, if you have a lot of air in your chart, you can't always be up in the clouds. Like we live on earth, we need to ground ourselves back to reality. And this is what Saturn is teaching us. And there's actually this quote that I heard today that I want to share, because I feel like it's so on point with the energies of this full moon. And the quote is that divine contribution is offered to those who wish to contribute to the world. I'm going to repeat that. Divine contribution is offered to those who wish to contribute to the world. The great beloved sees what is in your heart, what is with you to offer. What it is you wish to offer, and is saying yes, so that you are able to serve and assist and to offer genuine spiritual contribution to the planet, to become a sacred hand and work for the will of heaven. I just feel like that is so on point, and it's just like very on point with Saturn's energies. Like when you have good intentions and when you are doing the right things and being of service and walking your path and doing what you think is right and putting in that effort, just trust that you will gain the rewards. That it's like planting seeds. You will gain that. The seeds will grow eventually, and you need to trust that. And with Uttara Bhadrapada, it's known as the later lucky feet. I heard one YouTuber, what's her name, Claire Nakti, call this star the Cinderella star, especially for women, because the later lucky feet. And usually with this star, when you're doing good and being of service and just being a good person, you will get your good karma for this later on in your life. Depending on what you give back, you will receive eventually. And the later lucky feet, like the feet, the Pisces rules the feet, but it's also really showing that movement is so important. You can't stay stagnant. No matter how you're feeling, no matter how stressful life is, no matter how bogged down or burnt out or how bad things may be, it's definitely important to rest and take breaks and to revive your soul and to nourish yourself and to stay still when you need to. but then you have to get yourself back up, and you have to move, and Saturn will help you endure and keep going. And trust me, you will feel good when you keep moving. And when you're moving, you're releasing energies from your body, you're aligning with different things, you're not staying still and stagnant. Staying still is tamasic energy, which is, it just leads to so many negative things. There is this quote about how idle mind is the devil's playground, and it's so true, and the Vedas really show that because of that tamasic energy. And Uttara Bhadrapada is that divine sattvic energy that we're tapping into and learning. So it's a really beautiful energy. This is the time where we can feel super psychic. The dream world can be so crazy. This is something I experience all the time. I'm very familiar with it. So if you feel like the dream world is too much, like, send me a private message and I'll give you a rundown on my very extensive routine that I have to go through before I go to bed, so that I don't go crazy at night. Because this star is all about the subconscious realms, and it's a powerful thing. And one thing I will suggest on this video is, before you go to sleep, set your intentions. Ask your higher self for the divine guidance that you are ready for, and to help you to interpret that in the divine ways as well. So yeah, I think that is everything I wanted to share about this full moon. The full moon is, by the way, a time to really just release and just be open to receiving the divine guidance that wants to come through. And the more you release, the more you feel light, and the more free you are to let in more divine guidance, and to let in more new opportunities that are more aligned with your higher self and your highest being. So release, materially release stuff that no longer serves you. Declutter. It's always a good time to do a spring clean. It doesn't matter what the season is. I'm constantly decluttering my stuff. So materially declutter your mind, meditate, connect with, I believe connecting with the ocean, if you can, is a really powerful thing to do around this full moon. But if you can't do that, just ground in nature of some sort, and meditate and connect with yourself, and take some time for yourself to be alone, and journal, reflect on what your purpose is here on earth, and what your goals are, and how is that going to create a better world, create better energy for others as well as yourself. And just, dream big as well, because the world is literally, you can create anything you want to in this world. And I believe with the Pisces energy, it's really a time to just dream big and ground that energy with the Saturn energy. The Jupiter and Saturn is so powerful together, because it's giving us this beautiful, optimistic and expansive energy, and allowing us to see the most highest perspective of our life, and from a really broader view. And Saturn's actually going to help us ground our ideas and our inspired thoughts and all of that into reality. And just also reflect on your material world and your spiritual world, and are they in balance and in harmony? And if not, how can you make those in balance? And know that the material world is a tangible manifestation of your spiritual internal world. The inner world is a reflection of your outer world. This is something that this star teaches us. So I'm gonna stop this video here. I hope you all have a beautiful full moon. I love you all. Thank you all for supporting me on YouTube. If you're new to my channel, please please subscribe and let me know your thoughts and your stories as well with this full moon. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.